Alrighty, Jules, that's a big damn promise in the headline. Is it actually possible to get more than 35% on your open rates? Yeah, sure, you just gotta have 10 people on your list. That's a super easy way to increase your open rates. Alright, jokes aside though, you all know that email subject lines are super critical. If people don't open your email, that's a missed opportunity to read your stuff, potentially make a sale or book a call. Or whatever you're pitching, an idea, a video, something like that. Now here's where I want to make this video extra interesting for you. I went through all the other YouTube videos on how to craft the best subject line, and they all say the same thing. Use curiosity, use an open loop, use a crazy from name. So I made it my mission today to make this video completely different than everyone else and give you something very unique. We're going to get deep into the psychology of what makes your market tick and why they would want to open your emails. And not just airy-fairy practical stuff from a textbook, like actual practical things you can use today. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you won't have some watered down subject line template that everyone else gives you in a checklist. You're gonna have real good stuff that your market can really resonate with because it's tailored to them. You'll have custom subject lines specifically made to your market so you can ultimately ramp up your sales, your conversions, and best of all, get more opens. And the reason why we're all here to make more money with your business. Hey, I'm Jules Dan. I'm a freelance copywriter and now email list manager for some multi-7-figure businesses as well. Got to add a little soft flex, don't you? So ego flexing aside, I'm out here in the trenches every single day, testing lots of different things. And one of those things are email subject lines. And the point of this YouTube is that I basically go out in the field, see what's working, and I come back to you so I can help you get more customers, make more per customer, and keep them coming back with the power of the pen and the table to talk about email subject lines. Yes, I'm not like a copywriter who's teaching copywriters how to do copywriting so they can get more copywriting clients. This channel is to basically help the business owner, the entrepreneur, the marketer who wants to make a ring with their business and they want to learn how to do it with the power of the pen. So if that is you, then you're definitely in the right place. So let's get into this first subject line hack. I really feel like I'm gonna get pitchforked here because this is something you can't implement straight away. I can just picture all those instant gratification gremlins coming after me. I'm sorry, but that's what you wanted, then this channel's probably not for you then. Because the smart folks know that this game is for the long term. So here's a dirty little secret about email subject lines. The same subject line will actually perform differently depending on who's sending it. So let me explain. So the other day, I was setting up this new offer to help get people out of the Gmail promo tab. And to get that off the ground, I wanted to create a case study where I basically help one of my friends who's got an email list to get her out of the Gmail promo tab. Now, granted, her email list isn't massive. She's done a really good job at organic marketing through LinkedIn and built her list that way. So anyways, I went through her autoresponder and I kept seeing the same thing. She had really cool open rates, 35, 40% open rates. Pretty damn good, right? And she only sends one email a week. So I thought to myself, well, she's kind of breaking all the rules. She's only emailing once a week. Why is she getting such a good response? And I've seen this pattern happen with other clients as well that irregularly email their list, but they consistently publish content on social media. People keep seeing their name all the time. And it's not just seeing their name all the time. They're used to seeing their name and associating their information with really good stuff. So to put it simply, people really liked hearing from Kate. She's built up so much goodwill that people just automatically assume that whatever Kate says, it's going to be good. And that's why her from name translates into really high subject lines. So you're going to have to put some time into this, but the longer you're in this email game and you're providing good content, the better response you're going to get from your opens. Which is why I'm kind of against people going out and training people affiliate marketing and regurgitating info as the first thing when they go start a business. Doesn't make much sense to me if you're just going out there regurgitating content. You haven't actually solved a specific problem for multiple people and then coming back to them with more ways they can solve that specific problem in that niche. Going surface level from content to content just to pitch a product is just so backwards to me. You might see things differently, but if you do agree with me, make sure you give this video the thumbs up so I know that you're on the same page as me. All right, so I went on a bit of a tangent there. Let's get back to the main course, the from name. This is what's arguably more important than the subject line because we're continually investing into our list's emotional bank account, all the goodwill by providing them good content over the years. So hopefully this news gives you some more, well, hope that the longer you're in this game, the better your open rates are going to be automatically just because of this law of reciprocity and building goodwill with your list. All right, so the next determining factor. So here's the second thing you should definitely consider to improve your open rate. It's not actually something to consider, it's something you should probably test. And that's testing different hooks in your subject line, because the short answer is you won't know what hits until you test it. But here's the thing, I could have created this video where I give you all the little tips, all the little secret hacks as a copywriter to improve your subject lines, which I kind of plan on doing. But here's the thing, I've written some subject lines where I thought were an absolute dud, and they've just hit it out of the park. And there's been some other subject lines where I thought they were going to be an absolute winner. They were curiosity packed, they were super cool, and they just completely flopped. Sometimes you just don't know if you don't understand the list very well. So here's an example of two different subject lines that are kind of parallel to each other, and one did much better than the other one. And it's kind of like a case study email subject line. So I've got, she made $12,000 overnight in her first launch, ? And the other one was, she never liked sales and made $300K on her webinar. So surprisingly, I tested both of them, similar pattern, but only one did better, and that was the former. So it goes without saying, you kind of just need to test what works in your market, and then once something does stick, you gotta double down on that theme. And you won't know what works until you start testing. So I wanna give you another example, because most people think that curiosity and benefit equals a good subject line. Not always. So for an example, one of my clients is running YouTube ads, and one of his email subject lines said this. It's a curiosity and benefit one. Over 100 people have launched a 6-figure recruiting business using this. So it's using a benefit, curiosity, this as like a teaser, which is the perfect subject line formula that everyone recommends you say you should do. Problem is, they only had about a 15% open rate. So instead, I went down a different angle. I went down the angle of speed and greed. So the subject line kind of went like this. RE colon, that means like regarding, maximum recruiting commissions in minimum time, and then there's a money bag emoji. So the point I'm trying to make this, how did there not been this test before where they had lots of data come through doing the curiosity and benefit thing? I probably would have used that angle myself, but because they had that data and tested it first, I went, okay, let's try something completely different. Let's try speed and greed. Now, if you're really smart, you can pick up there are multiple angles within angles that you can test. So let me explain what I mean. Did you know that humans have multiple different emotions? Oh my gosh. So pure greed, yes, that's a cool thing. That's a human emotion you can pull on, but there are some other ones you can pull on too. And the more emotionally charged, the better. So things like envy, things like pride, guilt, embarrassment, can't forget love as well. These are all really highly charged emotions that you can use inside your email subject lines. So it's probably a really good idea to test different subject lines outside of the curiosity and benefit that might touch on these highly charged emotions. This is the kind of deep psychological stuff that just makes people tick. So I hope you can see the power in this, because rather than me just giving you some watered down subject line everyone rips off, you can just tap into the dominant emotions your list has and then tug on these emotions to make it even better. These are the principles of human persuasion, and they won't change. So yeah, you can thank me later. All right, that's enough patting myself on the back there. So how do we actually take what I've mentioned and apply this into an exercise you can use right now so you can pump out some good subject lines? Well, here's a really good exercise you can do. I want you to list out these things. What are your prospects angry about, and who are they angry at? What do they secretly desire? What do they feel guilty about? What are the kind of cocktail party stories they dream about telling in the future? What keeps them up at night? What are they so embarrassed about that they would rather give everything that they own away so that no one on earth would know this little secret? Brainstorm a bunch of them and see what we can come up with. Then you can try and shorten them into different subject lines. Another good little formula that I really love comes from Blair Warren's one-sentence persuasion. And he says, people will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. List out as many of those things as you can. Then when you're writing your email subject line, see if you can include 2 of those themes. All right, so now that we've done your brainstorming and you've sort of exhausted your ideas, here's the important next part. We need to confirm that our hunches are actually correct. So part of being a good copywriter is that you have to challenge the assumptions of your clients. They can't just give you a surface level answer and you expect it to be true. So you got to get to the bottom of, is this true, or are they just stuck in confirmation bias bubbles? And this is phase 3 for writing a really good subject line. You got to do your research. So you could go to a Facebook group, you could go to Reddit, or you could go to Amazon to find the research. But I think you know the answer I'm about to tell you. You got to get on the telephone with you. It's just the best way of doing it. Let's just face it. Nothing is better than going 30, 40 minutes on a phone call with someone, figuring out what was their story like before they met you, why they bought, why they maybe didn't buy, and all the little hesitations in between. This is the best data you can pull out. And a little hack is if you just go back 1 minute and you use the questions that I gave you before in that interview, you subtly slip it in there, you're gonna really pull out some nuggets. And I promise you, by doing your homework and confirming your hunches by doing this is gonna make you write some absolutely amazing subject lines that makes sense to your audience. It's not just some ripped off subject line because it's a clickbaity thing. And look, that's why you can get away with so-so copywriting, but if you can target the really hot button emotions, these subject lines can just pop. Right, so I've talked about a lot about subject lines. Let's recap so it all makes sense to you right now. From name is arguably the most important part of your email marketing strategy. The more value you give to your audience, the higher your open rates are going to be automatically over time. Always be testing different angles that go beyond curiosity and benefit. Remember that humans have got different emotions. Let's play on those different emotions inside of our subject lines. And number 3, the only way you know if those emotional hot buttons are actually true and not assumptions is if you go talk to your customers and figure this out for yourself. We really want to take today's video to the next level. We want to pour some petrol and just light it up. So it just... Great analogy, Jules, that's awesome. If you want to take this content of subject lines and then combine it with some really good content, here's the next thing you should watch. You should definitely check out this video here where I talk about how to come up with at least a month's worth of content, 5 backbone email marketing templates you can use to make more sales, build a relationship with your list, and get people coming back for more. Help you come up with the perfect plan to help you ultimately connect, persuade, and ultimately sell more of your offers with your email marketing. That next video, make sure you click over here to that video right now.